So this is my 30-minute Friday afternoon masterclass. So I'm going to dive right into it. I'm going to share screen because PowerPoint always keeps me on point. So give me a moment while I share screen. Wonderful. And we are going to go ahead with our masterclass today. Welcome, and we are very happy to have you with us. So we've got the chat box going. I'm looking at the chat, comments coming through the chat, so put them through. We're also live in our private group, the Empowered Parents group. So I'm looking for comments there as well. So multitasking a little bit here, but that's what we parents have got to learn, isn't it? Lovely. So here we go. Thank you. You are in the right place. All of you, feel free to use the chat box, and I will keep going with my momentum. So let's talk about some of the most common single parenting challenges. And as I share these with you, I want you to share with me, where do you see yourself? Which ones are most prominent to you? And which ones are the ones that you are is your priority on your list to overcome? So is it conflict with your ex-partner? Isn't that something that so many of us single parents do feel? Why? Because that's where the relationship has come to. The reason why we have separated, divorced, is because there have been conflicts. So as we parent, these conflicts and that friction and resistance absolutely does trickle through, which is why it is an area where many of us will find that this is a big one to raise kids, that who are the least affected, if I may say, by what's happening with the conflict in the parents. It is important for us to address this and choose a new path for ourselves first, for our kids as well. Is it instilling discipline with your children? Is it setting new routines and responsibilities? Is it coping with your own emotions? Is it the fear of being alone? Isn't that a big one as we come to single parent together? Are we supported? Is there support available? Finances is a big one. Time, because you have all these things to do now single-handedly, when before you were the two of you. And guilt, isn't guilt a big one? Guilt is a very dense emotion, and let's address it. Let's look at it. And I know Harpreet is here today because she came into our guilt masterclass that happened before. Those of you who are keen to know more about the empowered parenting perspective on guilt, just put in the chat box and we will send you, just say guilt in the chat box if you'd like to know more about guilt, and we will send you the link to our masterclass that we did not too long ago within this group, so you can access in depth on the emotion of guilt and how it is detrimental to your family, to your kids, and it's what we didn't know and we just follow. So tell me in the chat box, tell me in the comment section, tell me what is your biggest priority in overcoming guilt, in overcoming in your single parenting journey. Share with me. I want to see what you feel is your biggest challenge so we can work through it. Shanky has just said guilt in the chat box. We will send you the link to Overcoming Guilt Masterclass. However, here we are tackling our single parenting challenges. Tell me, is it the ex? Is it disciplining your kids? Is it routines that you need to set up because now you have a home to run single-handedly? Is it not enough time? Is it finances that are a pressure? Is it that deep depth feeling of feeling alone, because we were never meant to be alone? We are created one with all. When we start to feel alone, we start to feel incongruent with our true selves. So is that a big one for you? Is it your emotions? Are you finding yourself reacting to your kids in a way that you question at a later time? Do you find yourself feeling overwhelmed with your own emotions because of all the pain and hurt that you've been through? What is your biggest one? Nalan shares that his biggest one is empathizing with the children, and because of the age difference, both his kids are are at a different age, and their needs are different, and their emotional needs are different. So beautiful, Nalin. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else here? Share with us, where are you at? What is your biggest challenge? Even if you're watching this later, guys, put in the comment section and tell me. Anxiety and wondering if I'm capable of giving him the best, says Shanky. Yes, absolutely. So emotional, coping with your emotions, coping with supporting your son's emotions. So which of these challenges affect you the most? That is where we apply focus. So we're taking one step at a time. It can all feel overwhelming. However, all we can do is one step at a time, trusting ourselves that we are supported, that when we need what we need, we will find it. Harpreet says instilling discipline. Harpreet is not a single parent, yet instilling discipline is valid across the lines, whether you're single or not. So thank you for sharing that, Harpreet. Lovely. A little bit about me, my single parenting story. As I went on my journey, on this journey 4.5 years ago, emotional exhaustion was a big one. Uh, I was afraid. I had no idea how things were going to turn. It was all new. Let me also tell you, culturally, I felt that my path ahead was not supported, and I felt, yes, that I would be alone. I felt overwhelmed because I had so much that I had to do now single-handedly, and and I felt overworked and burnt out, and going through the emotional ups and downs, because it is like a death. It is shattering of plans of what you had thought your future would be, and here you are with the responsibility of creating a whole new reality which you have no vision and no clarity about, and you've got kids with you that you are towing along with yourself, which you cannot help humanly feeling guilt of of the situation that the kids have been put into for no fault of their own. Confusion around finances because you've gone from two incomes to now one income. The plans that you had financially for your future, all of this creates a confusion, and feeling not good enough. I wasn't good enough in my relationship. Who am I? Am I good enough? Am I a good enough mom? Am I good enough to be able to support my kids going forward? Fear of being alone. Support is so important in our human existence. So that fear that we are not supported by that significant person is a big one that I struggle to. Uncertainty about the future, and the biggest one is emotions. Emotions are our driving force. It became a key factor where I started to prioritize, to realize, OMG, these emotions are feel like they're not in my control. The way I act, the way I react, the way I feel about my past, the way I'm feeling about my future, there is a lot that I can't feel control. So we all have this need for control, and when we start to see our emotions playing up, going ahead of ourselves, we come to realize that, okay, let's have a look at these emotions again. So lots of suppressed anger, like a pressure cooker, walking around, having these outbursts, frustration, disappointment, and more important, I realized down the track, even though I was thinking it was my frustration and anger at the other person, it really was my underlying anger, frustration, disappointment in who? In myself. So tell me if you can resonate with my story. There are um, for 8 points here. How many resonate with you? Tell me in the chat box, tell me in the comment section, how many of these resonate with you? So put it in the chat box. I want to see, where are you at? This was my story. How many of these is your story? Giving you a moment to share with me. Where are you at? Thank you to all of you joining us live, joining us on our in the Zoom room. Tell me, guys, I'm waiting for your answer. Tell me, how many do you resonate? Or if you don't resonate with any of them, say none. That's all good. Your story is unique to you. Harpreet says she resonates with 6 of these, and well done, Harpreet. You're not even a single parent, yet you can resonate. We are parents and we are on this journey and we can go through this. So single parents, you're not alone. Even parents with support are feel and experience these. So it's so good for us to know that we are not alone and that this is a parenting journey, because our intention for the to give the best of for our kids is priority. Kate says in the chat here that all of them is what she can resonate with. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thank you for that. Moving on. Why is parenting through a separation, through divorce, so important? We need to know why, so that we can take the actions that we know are important for us to take. It does, let's face it. Yes, there are so many families I know that stay in a relationship for the sake of our kids. I can tell you personally that staying in a relationship for the sake of your kids is not the best option, because the energy that we bring into our home, our kids are 100% emotion. Emotion is nothing but energy in motion. Our kids feel our energy, they feel our emotion. And yes, divorce and separation does rock the world of our kids. However, staying in a relationship that has so much of toxicity and disagreement and resentment is toxic to our kids as well. Just something for you to be curious about. Is this really the best path? How can you clear this density? What emotions can you work on within yourself so that you can clear the energy? You can still choose to be in the relationship, but what work do you need to do for yourself? I work with multiple amount of couples who are struggling, who are in their relationship for their kids, but they come to me to work with that energy to clear out, to clear the density, to clear the resentment, because that is not conducive to your kids. So Kate, if you can put into the chat and put into the comment section to book a free chat if this is you, if you are staying in a relationship that you know is not conducive, you can sense the energy in your home that is not conducive to your kids. Let's jump on and see how we can support you to ease that, so that your home is the home that you want to raise your happy kids in. Important point to remember is that kids going through or in a separation feel responsible for parents' separation. They do. It is important in the language that we use with them, in understanding their behavioral challenges, to address where this is coming through and be able to affirm to your child that this is not, it is free of responsibility for your child. There is nothing that they could have done, could have said, or been good so that the parents could stay together. Let's be mindful where this might be coming through and let's nip it in the bud. Let's pull out those weeds. We don't want our kids feeling responsible for our decision to separate and or to divorce. In order to support our kids, we need to be working together and not against our ex to achieve the best for our children. Oh, thank you, Leela. Leela has worked with me and she says working with you has helped me so much. I am so grateful, Leela, and very happy to have you join us today. Leela is a gorgeous and amazing single mom. She has she's been through this journey with me and is doing amazing things today. Well done to all of you who are to take this empowerment path, and we get to see that working together and not against our ex-partner is important to give the best for our kids. And in order to do that, us handling our emotions, us handling our stories is important, which is what I will be covering shortly in our next slide. So emotions is key. How to process and best manage strong feelings of anger, hurt, pain, betrayal is so key for us to be working hand in hand with our ex for the benefit of our kids. It's so key for us to work on this so we can have the best path forward. Keeping your focus on creating a loving, joyful, safe home for you and for your child. You are important. You will see, I will always mention your child and you. You cannot give to your child what you don't already have. So you are important to me. You are important to the empowered parenting journey. You are important to yourself in giving your child the best future, the best outcome of their lives ahead. Your parents, your kids chose you. Your kids chose this situation between their parents for the best benefit of their lives ahead. This is how I choose to see it. The journey that I go through, the choices that I make are what I'm sharing to my kids. I'm the mom of two girls, a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old girl. And it is so important for me to step up, to stand up as that mom, as that woman that I want my kids to be learning from. I choose not to be disempowered. I choose not to be a victim. I choose to shine for them so that they know what is possible, no matter what life challenges throw on you. The choices you make, the decisions you take, the steps you take forward on, and even the steps that I take backwards, the times when I struggle, they get to see it all. They get to see me fall so that they get to see me step up and rise over my challenges. So it's all important. Sharing the journey and being comfortable with myself, being in tune with my emotions is what allows me to play this role for my kids, which is what I teach and what I share with the parents that I work with. The best security blanket that kids can have as they're growing through this separation is parents who respect each other. And how do we respect each other? Despite all of our conflicts, is us managing our own emotion. I cannot emphasize it enough. Our own journey, which is what we teach at Empowered Parents, in Empowered Parenting, is emotions, recognizing where we are at, how did we get here, and what is the next step forward. In order to reduce the psychological toll of what's happening in our kids, it's important to instill consistent discipline. How do you instill consistent discipline with your kids? Not putting our kids in the middle, in the midst of our conflict. How to co-parent peacefully, being in alignment. We cannot do this given what has brought us here to the separation, to the divorce. It is important that we rise above these emotions that keep us stuck. There are so many single parents that tell their single parent story in victimhood. We are not going to gain much victory if we are going to stay in victim. Our journey from victim to victory is a 5-stage journey, which I'm excited to share with you shortly. So understanding that in order to create that safe and secure environment for your child needs routine and your child needs structure. And in order to be able to giving them that routine and structure, you need to be consistent and you need to set them out and you need to observe where your inconsistency that comes from your own management of your own emotions is key. As we manage our own emotions, we are able to manage the emotions of our kids and what they go through. So it's really demanding of us to step up, to be bigger and greater than what we ever were, because that's what brought us to where we are at now. So keeping this in mind, keeping your children's best interest in mind is how we move forward. Lovely. Beautiful. So a few tools, which is what I'll be covering with you in my workshop. I'm just going to give you a little hint. My workshops it's a 90-minute workshop where I get to go in depth with you Our next workshop is on Tuesday, the 20th of July. My gorgeous Kate will put in the link to book. If you haven't, you must. It's at 7:30 p.m. It is for parents who are working. We are in lockdown in Melbourne, so all of you Melbourne parents, you are able to join us to know in depth the tools that we use. This is my TEAR model, where I talk about, in order to manage our emotions, we need to guard every thought that comes through and what to do with the thoughts, how to understand how our current result, the current chaos, is being driven by this model. Our thoughts create our emotions lead us to take the actions that we do that give us the result. Jump into my workshop and I'm going to show you how you can rework that model and create those new results. This is a little bit about that 5 stages of empowered single parenting that I talk about. It is that chaos, that initial frustration that we feel. But the journey is about starting to become aware, starting to recognize that there is a way out. The change in behavior patterns in yourself, how important are they? Are you the observer or are you the victim? We cannot be the victim if we are the observer. So stage number 3 on this journey, your journey from chaos to calm, your journey from victim to victory, is what we take you through on these 5 stages. And this is how we then come to resolve our emotional reactions, because that's when we can deactivate, we diffuse our triggers, and we respond on new energy. It allows us to intuitively tune to our kids. As Shanki was mentioning before, she feels the anxiety about not having a deeper connection with her boy. This is where this step comes. This 4th stage comes into action, where we deactivate, we go into the anxiety, we clear the anxiety, and we're able to intuitively tune into exactly what our child is seeking, and we address their inner needs by addressing our own core inner needs and what is stopping us from coming into contact with where we are at, and connecting deeply with ourselves, and from that level connecting deeply with our kids. I don't expect you to get all this, guys. This is what I do in my 12-week program. I've got parents who are here who have been on this journey with me and have seen the amazing results that come through on this 12-week journey from chaos to calm. I've also got this amazing parent here, Nalin, who is in our group, who has just jumped on board and is starting to experience this journey. So really grateful to all of you that jump on. This is why I've created this work, because this is where the solution lies. This is a foolproof solution to achieving success in all areas of your life. Okay, so she wants to be a better parent. Shanki says, I want to be better equipped. Wonderful. Great job, Shanki. This is where, tell us how old is your boy, Shanki, so that we can understand how to take him onto that next phase. And I hope you are joining us on our workshop, because I'm going to go into depth into connecting intuitively with your kids to resonate with them, because that's from that point is where we can start to experience inner calm, because there is that sense of control of our own self that we start to have. Who would like to have greater control over their own emotions? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a thumbs up in the comment section. Lovely. Thanks, Shanki. I can't keep track. I've got 2 screens going on here. Apologies that I asked you that again. She says 4-year-old and 10-year-old. Well done. Beautiful. Give me those thumbs up if you are seeking better management of your emotions. Give me a thumbs up if you can see that managing your emotions is the gap between getting that connection that you are seeking with your kids. And that's where our alignment to our true self comes. This resistance that we feel, this incongruence that we feel, the anxiety that we feel, comes from a space of us not being in alignment. The reason we feel this is because we are not in alignment with our own true self. And in order to be aligned with our true self, we need to come back to our own to feeling our own management of our own emotions and feeling at peace with where we are at. Some single parenting stories, how this works is, we've got gorgeous Helen, who probably will be joining this because we tagged her here, and has been she is a single parent and has been through the whole chaos before she joined us. And going through this journey, what she has gained is an increased trust in herself. She's become that greater role model to her kids and resonates in that emotion of joy and excitement, and her home has peace and calm. And this is what she says. Her, like I said before, victimhood is a big one that we can easily fall a trap on, where we start to say, people are against me, people are saying things to me, I feel powerless. And it's these old patterns that only serve negatively. And as we go on this journey, as we come to master our own emotions, we get to understand and work through and rise above. And from that space, we start to support our kids, and we're able to see the victory that we come to see, and the inner peace and inner calm that we start to experience along this journey. Beautiful. She now says that she is now on her way to being victorious and courageous. And thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to work with you, gorgeous Helen. This is another family. This is Barry, who was a single dad raising 3 kids until Tanya came and joined him, and they faced their struggles they had with parenting their kids. What they felt with their kids is this lack of respect and this chaos and not having enough control of the home used to overwhelm them, and which is what led their child psychologist, who was looking after their kids, to recommend them to come and work on the empowered parenting journey and gain their own empowered parenting, which is what got them to now feel that trust and feel greater confidence and greater calm in their home. And until today, they experience that support, and they know these techniques. So their awareness has increased, which allows them to create new realities in their home, which makes me so excited and grateful to do this work. More single parenting success stories, guys. It all goes on. This is my own single parenting journey. Being on this journey has allowed my kids to become so much more independent, because that's what was asked of them. And these are some of the benefits that we can enjoy as single parents, that our kids gain more opportunities for independence. We become a team. We didn't become we went from being me to we work as a team. My kids support me on my kids party business that we run on the weekends. We run kids empowerment parties for girls called Giggles for Girls. They run them. My 21-year-old and my 16-year-old go out there and they run them, because this is us. This is how they support me. They support us when we go back to our home country in India. They are the ones who facilitate workshops for kids in orphanages, because that's what I want to teach them, a sense of service, sense of our journey and how we can serve. And that's how we come out the other side. So many parents who have worked with me are now looking for opportunities, how they can reach out and serve, because they have overcome. When we overcome and we recognize our oneness with all, is where we enter into a whole new exciting phase of our journey, where we learn to serve. And no, I'm not a big one about academic successes, but my kids have continued to bring them on, which never happened before. In fact, the teachers at school said to me, Yolanda, what's going on in your home? Because your kids have changed. They are happier. They have tuned in. They are so much more aligned to themselves. And I said, this is what happened. We have our family has separated. And she says, this is very unusual, but what has happened in your home as a result of separation is what we wish we could see in more homes. And this has only happened from being on this journey and accepting and working through my own emotions. And this is what we do get to involve. We get to enjoy the closeness of being a team and working through this life. I have no doubt that my girls will go on to live successful lives. I have no single doubt. because of what they've already been through and come out the other side. And I've had to be that parent that stood at the front to lead them on that way. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all of you for joining us today. I am Yolanda Alvarez, and I am an empowered parenting coach, mentor. I am a speaker. I'm speaking at council events now, supporting parents in larger groups as well, workshop facilitator. And I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to join us on our workshop. Kate, please put that link again, because I will be showing you step by step how you can gain that emotional resilience that you are seeking. Our workshop is happening on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you there. So tell me in the chat box if you will be joining us at our workshop. So who is coming along? And Kate will send you a link to join us there. Wonderful. Hey, Kirsten is going to watch the replay. Well done. Looking forward to connecting with you all. Any last words, guys, before we go? And we're going to say goodbye to everybody watching us on our Facebook group, and we're going to jump into the Zoom room and serve the people in our room. Thank you to all of you joining us today.